Hey, Kurt Sasso here from TGT at C2E2 2011. We're here with the Dabong people, which is a wonderful company name. I love the game. But let's talk about it here today. What is it all about?
Well, it's about getting rid of your cards. It's like, it's a lot like Crazy Eights, or as we say, like Uno on steroids. So you pretty much got to follow suit or number, and then you can play. There's beginner, there's intermediate, and then there's advanced. So you're playing suit or number to follow in, and you try to get rid of your cards.
We call it the ultimate card game because it incorporates aspects of several traditional card games, and then also with a lot of non-traditional twists into the game.
Now, there's a lot of card games that you've drawn from this here. Obviously, being from Michigan,
right.
Euchre is a national pastime.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Are you guys enthusiasts of the Euchre games?
We're enthusiasts of Euchre, and it inspired one of the rules that we've got in the game. So it's a special card. It's the Jack. So as you remember, if you're familiar with Euchre, Jacks can be both suits. So if trump is clubs, the Jack of spades is also clubs. So our Jacks are simultaneously two suits at once.
Bipolar Jacks, as it were.
But how did you form this company?
Well, what happened is we would go to Wilderness on Lake Michigan, and the big question is, well, what do you do when you guys are out there? You know, well, we eat, we camp, we hike, and then we play. And so we had a regular card game, a regular card deck rather, and we would play, and we thought, oh, this is a good rule. Let's make this a rule. And then we would come up with another. 6 months would go by, and we'd go, oh, here's another rule. So we would keep on making the rules up until we wrote them down, and then they became a sanction game. Sanction rule.
Yeah, so the game evolved over the course of about 2 years.
And how has the response been to this type of card?
Well, there's two responses. One is, oh, you guys are just making it up. So we had to print up some rules. And the other one is, hey, that's cool. Hey, that's neat.
Right.
That's all right. Let's do it.
Right.
And then they say, do you have multiplication? Meaning that if you had a 7 times an ace, 7 times 1, it's a play. And people say, yes, it's already a rule. You made up a rule and you didn't even realize it.
So then, the question is, when are we going to see the first Dabong tournament?
You know, there's also, if you go to Kalamazoo, there's also already a Dabong parlor set up with weekly, no more like daily games.
Daily games of Dabong.
Now they play for money, which we don't sanction playing for money.
See, one of the big aspects is that you can create your own rules, and if you are playing with your friends, and 2 out of the 3 of you agree, it's a rule, and you play according to that rule. It's an open game, really kind of liberal.
To give you a feel for the quirkiness of the game is, what's a fundamental rule of any card game? A card laid is a card played, right? Not a rule in our game. You can pick it back up if you don't like it, and then the person before you can say, well, I'm picking mine back up too. So sometimes you get a series of unwindings, and then you can play it in a different way.
Now that sounds like a fun game. Now, what are you guys going to take away from C2E2 once it all finishes?
Question.
I think hopefully a lot of business contacts.
Yeah.
So we're the creative side. We've got Astute Games is the business side, and hopefully they'll work for a lot of contacts for distributing.
We're hoping that when the tables open up, we're able to play and people can just watch, and then they can see how much fun it is to watch and play.
So tell us about what these cards represent.
Well, the shaman here are basically jokers, and then we have ace, king, queen, jack, all the way to 2. And on each card, it tells you what the instructions are. Meaning that if I play a 2, the other person to the left of me, to the left, has to pick up 2. But if they have a 2, then they can play a 2, and the next person has to eat 4 or draw 4, and it can keep on going until all the 2s have been played, and then you have to eat 8. But if you have a crazy 8, you can lay it on the pile of 2s, and it's nullified. Except in certain counties in Maryland, where that's not allowed. Earth, fire, water, and air, and these are the jacks that I was talking about. It can be both air and water. And they skip. So the person to the left gets skipped and it goes over. So when you're playing with 2 people, it's basically going again. The jacks make you go again, and the 9s make you go again. And then what a dabong is, Jim, why don't you tell them?
The object of the game is to get rid of your cards, right? You got to fundamental rules, follow suit or number, try to get rid of your cards. Bill explains some of the special powers, but the dabong, the name of the game is when you win. You play all your cards and win, then you claim dabong, and you've won. And so Bill pointed out some of the special cards. It's the Jack of Skips, and we talked about Jack having both powers. So you can see here a Jack is both a water and an air card. So that could be it could be played as a water card, it could be played as an air card. Similarly, this Jack could be played as an earth card or a fire card. Right? So you've got to follow suit. Remember, some rules. So say a 6 was up to me, I could play any fire card. I could play any 6. An example of another rule is I could play any 2 cards that add up to 6 also on that, as long as those 2 cards, so I could play a 4 or 2 on a 6.
Internally suited.
As long as they are the same suit. Likewise, if a 9 were up, I could play a 6 and a 3 on top of that. Right? And so there's a number of plays like that. Then we get into poker plays, full houses, flush, straight flushes, things like that.
Crazy stuff.
It is a crazy game. It's the ultimate card game.
I want to thank you guys for taking the time.
Sure, Kurt. Thank you for stopping by.